The world you know is just the surface. Beneath every map, every border, every ocean, there are secrets buried deeper than time itself. Tonight, let me take you on a journey across the hidden heartbeat of our planet, where geography turns into mystery. I remember the first time I realized how vast this world truly is. 193 countries, 2 observer states, over 8 billion souls, and yet, every one of us living on a planet that still keeps half of its truth in the shadows. Did you know that 730 million people live on islands? That's nearly 1 in every 10 humans surrounded entirely by water. The most crowded of them all, Java. But beyond it lies Honshu, Japan, an island of 102 million hearts beating together on a narrow strip of land that in the quiet green of our world. There's a country covered almost entirely in forest. Suriname, 97% trees, just 3% human footprint. Yet the lungs of our planet lie elsewhere. Russia, holding 8 million square kilometers of forest, breathing life into us all. When you zoom into the world's greatest cities, Tokyo, Jakarta, Delhi, Seoul, you'll find more people in one skyline than entire nations. 4 capitals. 4 hearts of Asia. Beating in unison, carrying nearly 125 million souls, the average human life now stretches 73 years. Once, not long ago, it was only 46. In a blink of history, we doubled our time on Earth, and yet, the Earth hasn't doubled its mercy. Indonesia, 17,500 islands scattered like shattered emeralds in the ocean. Sounds massive, doesn't it? But the real king of islands is Sweden, with a staggering 267,000 of them, the youngest capital in the world. Juba, South Sudan, born in 2011, barely a teenager in human years. It's home to 500,000 people still learning what freedom feels like. South America, a continent painted in greens and golds. Brazil alone makes up almost half of its land, and half of its life. The same balance echoes across Asia, the giant that holds 60% of humanity in its embrace. In Africa, Algeria spreads wide, 2.4 million square kilometers, a land that breathes deserts and silence. Yet it's Nigeria, not Algeria, that holds Africa's pulse, 224 million people, 15% of the continent's heartbeat. But if you've ever looked out over the ocean and wondered which sea stretches the farthest, it's the Philippine Sea. 5.7 million square kilometers, larger than 2 Argentinas combined. Even Greenland, that icy crown of the north, remains Earth's largest island. Its frozen silence hides an area of 2.1 million square kilometers, larger than entire empires of history. Manhattan, just one small piece of New York. But with 1.6 million people, it has a greater population than 44 countries. Imagine fitting nations inside a few blocks of concrete. 14 countries float across Oceania, yet only one shares a land border, Papua New Guinea. The rest are scattered worlds, isolated kingdoms of coral and wind, and then there's fertility, the rhythm of life itself. In 1950, humanity was young and growing wild. Now, in 2024, the average woman bears 2.4 children. But the numbers are falling. South Korea sits at just 0.68, a future quietly fading away. Switzerland, by every measure of progress, is the most developed nation on Earth. But its perfection only makes you wonder how uneven our world truly is. Singapore, a single island, yet it holds 7,800 people per square kilometer. A human hive, glowing in neon. The Maldives, Asia's smallest country, scattered across the sea with barely 300 square kilometers of land. Thousands of coral islands fighting to stay above water as the ocean rises inch by inch. Canada, so vast it makes up 41% of North America's total area. Its quiet forests and frozen lakes stretch beyond imagination. The Caspian Sea, technically a lake, covers an area larger than Germany. A sea that isn't a sea at all. And if you ever thought the Amazon was unmatched, look again. Beyond it lies the Congo, and beyond that, the mysterious Australasian realm, Australia's secret rainforest, thriving unseen. On Java, Indonesia, there's a volcano that bleeds blue fire, Kawah Ijen. Its lava glows electric in the night, burning with sulfuric fury. Nature's own ghostlight, Papua New Guinea, tiny on the map, yet it holds over 840 languages. That's 11% of all the tongues ever spoken on Earth. One island, 1,000 worlds. Once, the Earth's population hit 1 billion in 1804. It took 123 years to reach 2 billion. But from 7 to 8 billion? Just 11 years. We've never multiplied so fast, and maybe never again. Devon Island, 55,000 square kilometers of pure emptiness. The largest uninhabited island on the planet. A land so barren, NASA tests Mars rovers there. Germany stands tall as Europe's most populated nation, 83 million lives. Yet history has shown how fragile such numbers can be. Africa holds the record for most UN countries, 54 in total. A patchwork of lands, languages, and legacies stitched by borders drawn in someone else's ink. Once, the British Empire ruled a quarter of the world. A fifth of humanity lived under its flag. Today, the empire is gone, but its lines remain carved into the earth. Russia and China, two giants with 14 neighbors each. Two nations that touch more borders than any others on Earth, and still, they border each other. Meanwhile, Bahrain, barely a dot, has the shortest border of all, just 0.19 kilometers. France touches 53 countries by sea. Canada borders 3 oceans. And yet, there are nations that touch none, 44 landlocked, trapped by geography's hand. Some places never see rain. In Chile's Atacama Desert, there's a city named Arica. It receives just 0.03 inches of rainfall a year. A place where the sky forgets how to cry, and then, there's light. Yuma, Arizona, the sunniest city on Earth. 4,000 hours of sunshine a year. A city that never sleeps in shadow. There's darkness too. In the Strait of Dover, 500 ships pass daily through waters just 33 kilometers wide, one mistake away from disaster. Even volcanoes, mountains, and oceans whisper stories of connection. Brazil's rainforests, Sudan's pyramids, Japan's islands, Iceland's glaciers, all threads in one vast mystery that we live on a world that's alive. Breathing. Shifting. Speaking in storms, quakes, and tides. And yet, most of us barely listen. Every map you've ever seen is already out of date. Every border you know was once an ocean floor, or a dream. And maybe the greatest secret of Earth is this: we think we've explored it all, but we've only just begun to wake it up. Isn't just where we live, it's still teaching us who we are. Globe showing Europe, Africa.